Jeffrey Kirby is kind of like really meant to help live out these Beatitudes. It's almost a guide in itself. So, if anything, this is an incredible book that you can get simply by donating $30 a month or more, or $360 one time. You can do that by calling 1-800-476-3311. That's 1-800-476-3311.
1-800-476-3311, or you can also go online to grnonline.com. I like how you said the blueprint to living a countercultural life, because it feels like traditional morals and Christianity and piety are the new counterculture because at least in America, things have gone so far in the way of just, debauchery and irate anger and fear. It's all over the place. But Catholic radio is a place where we are going against that current in the direction that God set at the beginning. And that's what the Beatitudes are. That's why this is our theme for the fall Share-a-thon, which is kind of, one of our biggest Share-a-thons of the year. We love this as everyone's getting back into the rhythm of the school year, of, getting out of the heat of summer vacations and stuff. You're coming back and you're like, okay, I'm powered up. I'm ready to go, refreshed. Let's get back into it. Beatitudes are the way to do it. So this is a great theme for this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. And looks like we have our first donation of the hour.
Awesome.
Give big thanks to Joe and Dora in Midland, Texas, listening on AM 1180 KLPF. $50 a month donation. That's guardian level, angel level. So thank you so much, Joe and Dora, for that generous donation. And you can be caller number 2. All you have to do is call 1-800-476-3311. That's 1-800-476-3311. Earlier this morning, Tim, with Morning Joy, Where Truth Matters, we talked with Dave Palmer. He had his segment, Thinking Out Loud, and he brought up St. Thomas Aquinas and how he discusses very much a lot of what almsgiving is and what it means for us Christians. And one of the things that he mentioned that was, I thought, very, very interesting was obviously Aquinas says that it's important to, wish someone well or keep them in our prayers, but it's also important to be well-doers. So really getting involved and getting in action and putting our words where our money where our words are, words where our money is. I don't know what the saying is.
Money where your mouth is. That's what you're looking
for. Thank you.
See, that's what producers are for. I got your back, man.
Exactly. I would be saying all sorts of mismatched sayings if it wasn't for you. We got one caller on the line. We have a whole crew of volunteers ready to take your calls.
Can I let you in on a secret?
Yes.
When you see Lisa's name pop up there, that's probably an online donation she's putting in. Because Lisa is in our main office there at KLPF in Midland, Texas, where that was the first Guadalupe Radio Network station. And so when someone goes to grnonline.com and makes their pledge or makes their donation, she takes that and enters it into our Share-a-thon software here so we can actually see it while we're on the air. I mean, it goes through on the website, of course, but she's the one that puts it into our system here. So when I see Lisa's name up there, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to give that website one more time. That's grnonline.com. But
that's right.
We have a whole call center full of awesome volunteers who are ready to take your call here in the studio where I am in the Houston Center. And those volunteers will take your call at 1-800-476-3311. We even have a couple of Dominican sisters in there. They're such a joy to talk to. So I hope you get them when you call in. 1-800-476-3311. Make a pledge of support. Any gift, any size will get the Father Jeff Kirby interview. And, of course, those guardian angel levels is really what we're looking for right now, because then you're going to be getting the book that we're giving away today, Tuesday, Kingdom of Happiness by Father Jeff Kirby.
That's right. And it looks like it might have been Lisa that entered this in, but we have Anonymous, giving a one-time donation of $3,000 and $3,090.
Wow, $3,000.
My goodness.
That's double Archangel level. We haven't even mentioned the Archangel yet.
They beat us to it.
Okay, tell you what then. We'll just go through it real quick before we head to the interview, and that puts us just about halfway through our goal. Our goal is 7,100 for this hour, so 3,000. That gets us pretty close to halfway there. So thank you very much to Anonymous in Arlington, Texas, AM 910 listener. They go to Most Blessed Sacrament Parish in Arlington. And they say, pray for all atheists. So that prayer intention is specifically for atheists. Anonymous. Yep. That is a double archangel. And so what that means, I'm going to go through all of the levels really quick. We start with the angel level, any gift, any size. You will get an exclusive interview that was done on the Beatitudes with Father Jeff Kirby. The guardian angel level, $1 a day, $30 a month, $361 time, however you want to do it. That will get you Father Jeff Kirby's book, Kingdom of Happiness, all about the Beatitudes. I'm in the second chapter now, and it's awesome so far. Yeah. The third level is the Archangel level. It's a $1,500 one. That's why Anonymous here did 2 of those. And so that $1,500 or $125 a month, that will get you an entry to win a pilgrimage, an all-expense-paid cruise with select international tours for 2 people, $11,000 to $12,000 value based on where you choose to go. You've got a year to pick where you're going. And Anonymous here gets 2 entries into that because they did 2 Archangel levels. So you can do that. Your chances of winning it are really, really good. Just call now. 1-800-476-3311. 1-800-476-3311.
Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for listening in. This is our fall Share-a-thon of 2024 for the Guadalupe Radio Network, and our theme is Living the Beatitudes. Thank you so much for listening, and if you do have your phone with you, you can still call in. That's 1-800-476-3311. That's 800-476-3311. 1-800-476-3311. And today, my name is Zach Allen. I'm the general manager for KSHJ here in Houston, part of the Guadalupe Radio Network. And I'm joined with Mrs. Maria Peden. She's a college readiness counselor for Straight Jesuit, which is a fantastic Catholic high school here in Houston for boys. And she's also a very strong supporter of Catholic radio. So, Miss Maria, thank you so much for being here.
You're very welcome, Zach.
Yeah, so it's been, I'm new, just so everybody knows. I've been here for just about 3 months, but I've heard Miss Maria's support. And so one of the things that I just was interested in is, what got you interested in Catholic radio to begin with?
Well, I'm sure it was a combination of an early morning flight and listening to AM radio, trying to find a station to keep me awake on the way to the airport. But once I discovered it, I realized that the other stations I was listening to weren't really offering me anything that I could take with me to work. And so my longest commute is on the way to work in the morning, and I thought, what is it can set me up for the day? You know, I'll pray a rosary, but what else can I do to really prepare this day? And so once I discovered a GRN, Catholic Radio, I started listening more and more. And then when I'd get out of school at 3 o'clock, I'd turn it back on and I'd hear the Divine Mercy Chaplet. And that added a whole nother level to my drive home. You know, mercy and humility and patience. And it really just added so much to my life that I started listening to KSHJ exclusively, even though I have Sirius XM radio, you know, even over the Catholic channel, you know, which is on Sirius XM. I just didn't like all the programs there. They just didn't really resonate to me. There's something for everyone on this radio station. Every program I've listened to, and I think I've probably listened to the entire rotation by now, offers me something, whether it's the spirit world or Deacon Harold Burke Sivers, as I was listening to on the radio over here, you know, Mother Angelica, or the you know, all the great, The Journey Home, which is on Sunday afternoons and talks about, you know, people coming back to the faith. There's so much in this radio station, and every time I turn away from it, I end up going right back to it, no matter what station I turn away to. And so it's just rich for me, and it's added so much to my spiritual life. I've learned so much, and I considered myself, you know, quote unquote, a really good Catholic. So I'm
Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for listening in. This is our fall Share-a-thon of 2024 for the Guadalupe Radio Network, and our theme is Living the Beatitudes. Thank you so much for listening, and if you do have your phone with you, you can still call in. That's 1-800-476-3311. 3311. That's 800-476-3311. 1-800-476-3311. And today, my name is Zach Allen. I'm the general manager for KSHJ here in Houston, part of the Guadalupe Radio Network. And I'm joined with Mrs. Maria Peden. She's a college readiness counselor for Strake Jesuit, which is a fantastic Catholic high school here in Houston for boys. And she's also a very strong supporter of Catholic radio. So, Miss Maria, thank you so much for being here.
You're very welcome, Zach.
Yeah, so it's been I'm new, just so everybody knows. I've been here for just about 3 months, but I've heard of Miss Maria's support. And so one of the things that I just was interested in is what got you interested in Catholic radio to begin with?
Well, I'm sure it was a combination of an early morning flight and listening to AM radio, trying to find a station to keep me awake on the way to the airport. But once I discovered it, I realized that the other stations I was listening to weren't really offering me anything that I could take with me to work. And so my longest commute is on the way to work in the morning, and I thought, what is it can set me up for the day? You know, I'll pray a rosary, but what else can I do to really prepare this day? And so once I discovered GRN, Catholic Radio, I started listening more and more. And then when I'd get out of school at 3 o'clock, I'd turn it back on and I'd hear the Divine Mercy Chaplet. And that added a whole nother level to my drive home. You know, mercy and humility and patience. And it really just added so much to my life that I started listening to KSHJ exclusively, even though I have Sirius XM radio, you know, even over the Catholic channel, you know, which is on Sirius XM. I just didn't like all the programs there. They just didn't really resonate to me. There's something for everyone on this radio station. Every program I've listened to, and I think I've probably listened to the entire rotation by now, offers me something, whether it's the spirit world or Deacon Harold Burke Sivers, as I was listening to on the radio over here, you know, Mother Angelica, or the you know, all the great, the Journey Home, which is on Sunday afternoons and talks about, you know, people coming back to the faith. There's so much in this radio station, and every time I turn away from it, I end up going right back to it, no matter what station I turn away to. And so it's just rich for me, and it's added so much to my spiritual life. I've learned so much, and I considered myself, you know, quote unquote, a really.
To our fall Share-a-thon, Living the Beatitudes. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Downey, a host of Morning Joy, where truth matters, joined by senior producer Tim Mott. Hello, Tim Mott.
Hello again.
And what a great interview. Maria made a really good point. If a catechized Catholic is learning something through Catholic radio, imagine what the non-Catholic is learning.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the fact or statistic is that more like around 40 to 50% of people that are listening to Catholic radio are not even Catholic. That's why it's so important to keep Catholic radio on the airwaves. And you can do that yourself by calling 1-800-476-3311. That's 1-800-476-3311. Now, we did have a rather large donation happen a little previous, and we have $3,410 to go. However, that doesn't mean that a small gift isn't going to help. That is going to be incredibly helpful. Even if it was, I think yesterday we had an individual give $6.05.
Yeah, it was Frank from Gaithersburg, Maryland. I remember that one because it makes such a big difference when you see someone who's giving a small gift and you're thinking, that's probably sacrificial, because if they had more, they'd probably give more.
That's right. Yeah, and it shows just how incredible the body of Christ is, especially when we're giving, investing. I think that was another thing that happened, or at least the word that I took away from the conversation with Maria and Zach. And people say having a 401k is a great investment. You know, you're saving money. Donating to Guadalupe Radio Network might be even better because you're saving souls, which, I mean, you cannot put a price on, because we have so many Catholics, and we may know them, that have fallen away. Maybe it's one of our own family members, and it could be the radio, the Catholic radio, that they tune in one day because they're curious about their faith that they grew up in, and maybe they have a question. and maybe they're listening to Dr. Dave Anders, and they get that that question answered, and now they're good, getting back into their faith. So incredibly crucial for you all to give us a call. We have nobody on the line. We have so many volunteers ready to get your call. 1-800-476-3311. That's 1-800-476-3311.
Yeah, or you could go online. That anonymous one, actually, Lisa did confirm it for me. She said that, yep, that was an online donation. You can go online to grnonline.com, grnonline.com, and make your donation right there. You can also read about all of the thank you gifts that we have. We've got some great thank you gifts. So you've mentioned that the Beatitudes are kind of a blueprint for living counterculturally, which is really where Christians are these days in our culture. And so having the book, The Kingdom of Happiness, to be able to go over that in detail and see how the Beatitudes, the 8 Beatitudes, connect to the 8 petitions of the Lord's Prayer, to the 8, to the. I think he went through 7 of them, and he connects to 7 of the cardinal virtues. He connects to 7 of the 7 deadly sins, which are kind of the anti-Beatitudes, and so you can see kind of how they're inverted in the 7 deadly sins, and how Jesus was, switching that around so that you can flourish in your life. This book, and it's a very thin book too. I mean, look at that on the stream there. It's a very thin book. So it's not like we're sending you the entire works of St. Thomas Aquinas and you're going to have to get a PhD to understand it. This is right there for you. Short, easy to read, and impactful. You get that. Every single person gets that when you give a guardian angel level pledge. The guardian angel level pledge is very much within the reach of practically everybody listening right now. It's just $1 a day. That's all it is, $1 a day. $30 a month or 361 time is kind of how you can pay it. But it really, what do you spend $1 a day on, Keith? Probably a lot of things.
Yeah, it's probably a lot of subscription-based things. Like I have so many photos, so I have my Apple account, re-up, making sure I have enough space, and that I feel like that's like $1 a day. Which isn't really necessary, no. I mean, I could certainly give $1 a day to Catholic radio because of how influential it is over, say, a picture of my cheeseburger that I thought looked really cool at the time, and took a snapshot and just realized nobody cares to see my hamburger. Anyways, I really loved how you were talking about the book, Kingdom of Happiness by Father Jeffrey Kirby, because not only does he go through all of the Beatitudes, but he gives us practical ways on how to apply these today, because, the language that's given when Jesus is telling these on the Sermon on the Mount, it kind of gets lost in translation with our own language today. So he breaks it down super simple and easy for us to digest. And that's just one of the many gifts that we're, gifting. If you're going to be calling in and donating, which we highly recommend, 1-800-476-3311. We've got somebody on the line already. Are you going to be caller number 2, caller number 3, 4, 5, 6? How many volunteers do we have?
Oh, we've got an overflow. We had to put some of the phones out here by the reception desk just because there were too many volunteers who wanted to take phone calls. You would think normally it would be kind of a hard sell getting people to come in, like while there's a hurricane out in the Gulf, and you come answer phones for 7 hours for us, and like, no, we got so many people, we had to make some extra seats and pull out some extra computers. So thank you so much to the Houston volunteers for taking care of us and taking care of you right now when you call in at 1-800-476-3311. These share-a-thons are the way that we sustain the Guadalupe Radio Network. It's actually the way that God sustains the Guadalupe Radio Network through you, our listeners, because we were talking earlier about kind of the way that Catholic radio can change someone's life when they come across it. I was living in Los Angeles County a while ago, and there was a time when there was a classical music station, and then one day it wasn't there anymore. It just, and I wanted classical music, and I was flipping through the dial. I could not find any classical music on the radio. And I think to myself now, what would it be like if Catholic radio went away in whichever city you're in right now? If you're in D.C. or you're Dallas or wherever you are in Birmingham, what if Catholic radio went away, and then people were flipping through the radio station looking for truth, looking for peace, looking for comfort, and they couldn't find it? Well, you can make that happen. I mean, you can keep it here, not make it go away. You can keep it here by donating right now at 1-800-476-3311. And don't worry about the size of the gift. If it's a $3,000 gift, God's going to use that very much to keep Catholic radio on the air and bring souls into the faith. Or if it's just like Joseph here from Manassas, Virginia, who gave $25 one time. Wow. That just came in right now. A Manassas, Virginia, AM 1160 listener, WMET. $25 one-time donation. That is every bit as powerful as a Seraphim level $5,000 donation, because God can use that $25 and multiply it like he did the loaves and fishes, and he will bring people are going to be saved because of Joseph's sacrificial gift there. Yep. So that's why we want you to call right now. And don't worry about the size of the gift. And what really matters more is your participation in getting more phone calls on the line. We've only got one on the line right now. So can you be caller number 2 at 1-800-476-3311, 1-800-476-3311, 1-800-476-3311. Have you ever had an experience like that, Keith, where, something that you thought was going to be solid and there just kind of went away?
Oh, yeah. And the example would be Catholic radio. I live in Tucson, Arizona, and there was Catholic radio present. It wasn't Guadalupe Radio Network. It was another station. And, I'd be tuning in every once in a while when I'm in the car. And then one day it was just gone. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm certainly happy that Guadalupe Radio Network has an app. And so I just continue to start using that, which... That also, too, can go away if we're not going in and being active and being doers and putting our money in a good investment like Guadalupe Radio Network. So I don't have that happen what happened to me, because it's not a good feeling when you're traveling around and you just want to turn on the radio. You don't want to fiddle around with your phone.
Oh, but you know what? The opposit can happen too. I've been meaning to do this every time we get on the air, and I keep forgetting. But it is written down right here on page 2 of my book here. We want to give a big welcome to our new listeners. Yes. In Fort Worth, Texas, KCPP on 1140 AM, and in Cleburne, Texas on 101.5 FM. If you are listening on KCPP 1140 AM in Fort Worth, or you're in Cleburne on 101.5, we are so thrilled to have you as part of the GRN audience now, GRN family of listeners. With the addition of these stations, the GRN now reaches over 31 million souls, a population of 31 million covered by these radio stations. And so we went from no Catholic radio there in Fort Worth to having a Catholic radio station. And that's kind of the opposite of what you and I were just experiencing, man. So the CPP in the call letters of KCPP, therefore they're Capuchin Padre Pio. We like to make as many Catholic connections with our call letters as we can.
That's wonderful. Yeah, and I can, the discovery, the feeling of discovering a Catholic radio station when you're traveling somewhere is such a wonderful blessing, because now you're going to have a peaceful trip, and even then those out there that might not be Catholic stumbling upon Catholic radio and hearing something that's full of truth is going to keep them listening, which is why it's so important to give us a call to keep Catholic radio on the air by calling 1-800-476-3311. We've got another caller on the line, so that makes 2.
Awesome.
Be number 3. Be caller number 3. Give us a call.
So the goal for this hour actually is $7,100. So every little bit is going to help there. But I like to kind of break it down and figure out how many archangels, how many guardian angels are we going to need to reach this. So with that donations that have come in already, we are down to $3,384. So that translates to 10 guardian angels. Just 10 people out of that 31 million population that we just mentioned. If only 10 of those people, I don't think it's going to be somebody else, it's got to be you. If only 10 of those people would call in and do $1 a day to get the Kingdom of Heaven book by Father Jeff Kirby that we're going to send to everyone that gives the Guardian Angel level gift, then we would hit the goal, ring the bells, and be able to go forward into the future thriving and not begging for, we need to reach the money, we need to reach the goal. No, we want to be right on top of it. And so just 10 of you right now, pick up the phone and dial 1-800-476-3311, 1-800-476-3311. Or, we have, with $3,384, just about 2 archangels. That would get us really close. Add a guardian angel on top of that. So the archangels are $1,500, and it's either one time or in monthly payments of $125, and then 1 guardian angel level on top of that, and we'd have it. So 3 calls. We could do it with 3 calls right now, and 1 is on the line. 1-800-476-3311. You can do that right now. Let me go ahead and thank Anonymous in Aubrey, Texas, and I'll pass it back over to you, Keith. Anonymous in Aubrey, Texas, listening on AM 1430. Wow, that's my station, but I'm not familiar with Aubrey, Texas, so I hope that I'll have to new city to go find. There's also an AM 1430 in the Longview area in East Texas around Tyler, and so maybe Aubrey's up there and we just got the 1430s mixed up, but that's okay. Wherever you're listening, Anonymous, thank you very much for your $200 one-time donation. That $200 is awesome. You're going to be getting the exclusive interview that Dave Palmer did with Father Jeff Kirby. Look for that in your email tonight. He or she says that Catholic radio has, how has Catholic radio changed your life? Lots of good knowledge, inspiration, and a great reminder to strengthen my faith, especially Dr. Ray. She or he says, praise be to God for the opportunity to develop my faith. Very encouraging and moving forward. Awesome. Thank you so much, Anonymous.
Yes, thank you. And then we have another one, a perpetual donor. Big shout outs. This is a $30 a month, a guardian angel level.
Hey, awesome.
So yeah, they'll get the Kingdom of Happiness by Father Jeff Kirby. So a great book. But big shout out to Benjamin, and I'll try to pronounce this, and I'm so sorry if I mispronounce. Jishu in North Potomac in Maryland. So thank you so much to you both. And that is just another great way of giving. It doesn't have to be an exuberant amount. It doesn't have to be $30. It could be like Frank from yesterday, $6.05. We need your help. Give us a call, 1-800-476-3311. We've got $2,820 to go. We can do it. We've only gotten, 20 some odd minutes left of this hour to make sure we get through and hit our goal. That number again is 1-800-476-3311. We got about a minute left before we jump into the second segment of Zach and Maria's interview. But, one of the great things about Catholic radio, aside from the whole fact that so many people are converted and learning so much about our faith, is that it really does help connect the body of Christ in a way that I've never seen it before. Obviously, domestically, we have over 31 million.
Yeah.
But globally, we've been noticing a lot of people in India and Africa are live streaming our shows.
Australia too.
So, we're not just impacting those that are in our country in the United States, but beyond our country. So please give us a call. Help keep those Catholic radio airwaves on. 1-800-476-3311. 1-800-476-3311. We'll see you right after this interview.
Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for listening in. This is our fall Share-a-thon of 2024 for the Guadalupe Radio Network, and our theme is Living the Beatitudes. Thank you so much for listening, and if you do have your phone with you, you can still call in. That's 1-800-476-3311. That's 800-476-3311. 1-800-476-3311. And today, my name is Zach Allen. I'm the general manager for KSHJ here in Houston, part of the Guadalupe Radio Network. And I'm joined with Mrs. Maria Peden. She's a college readiness counselor for Strake Jesuit, which is a fantastic Catholic high school here in Houston for boys. And she's also a very strong supporter of Catholic radio. So, Miss Maria, thank you so much for being here.
You're very welcome, Zach.
Yeah, so it's been, I'm new, just so everybody knows. I've been here for just about 3 months, but I've heard of Miss Maria's support. And so one of the things that I just was interested in is, what got you interested in Catholic radio to begin with?
Well, I'm sure it was a combination of an early morning flight and listening to AM radio, trying to find a station to keep me awake on the way to the airport. But once I discovered it, I realized that the other stations I was listening to weren't really offering me anything that I could take with me to work. And so my longest commute is on the way to work in the morning, and I thought, what is it can set me up for the day? You know, I'll pray a rosary, but what else can I do to really prepare this day? And so once I discovered GRN, Catholic Radio, I started listening more and more. And then when I'd get out of school at 3 o'clock, I'd turn it back on and I'd hear the Divine Mercy Chaplet. And that added a whole nother level to my drive home. You know, mercy and humility and patience. And it really just added so much to my life that I started listening to KSHJ exclusively, even though I have Sirius XM radio, you know, even over the Catholic channel, you know, which is on Sirius XM. I just didn't like all the programs there. They just didn't really resonate to me. There's something for...
Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for listening in. This is our fall Share-a-thon of 2024 for the Guadalupe Radio Network, and our theme is Living the Beatitudes. Thank you so much for listening, and if you do have your phone with you, you can still call in. That's 1-800-476-3311. That's 800-476-3311, 1-800-476-3311. And today, my name is Zach Allen. I'm the general manager for KSHJ here in Houston, part of the Guadalupe Radio Network, and I'm joined with Mrs. Maria Peden. She's a college readiness counselor for Strake Jesuit, which is a fantastic Catholic high school here in Houston for boys, and she's also a very strong supporter of Catholic radio. So, Miss Maria, thank you so much for being here.
You're very welcome, Zach.
Yeah, so it's been, I'm new, just so everybody knows. I've been here for just about 3 months, but I've heard of Miss Maria's support. And so one of the things that I just was interested in is, what got you interested in Catholic radio to begin with?
Well, I'm sure it was a combination of an early morning flight and listening to AM radio, trying to find a station to keep me awake on the way to the airport. But once I discovered it, I realized that the other stations I was listening to weren't really offering me anything that I could take with me to work. And so my longest commute is on the way to work in the morning, and I thought, what is it can set me up for the day? You know, I'll pray a rosary, but what else can I do to really prepare this day? And so once I discovered GRN, Catholic Radio, I started listening more and more. And then when I'd get out of school at 3 o'clock, I'd turn it back on and I'd hear the Divine Mercy Chaplet. And that added a whole nother level to my drive home. You know, mercy and humility and patience. And it really just added so much to my life that I started listening to KSHJ exclusively, even though I have Sirius XM radio, you know, even over the Catholic channel, you know, which is on Sirius XM. I just didn't like all the programs there. They just didn't really resonate to me. There's something for everyone on this radio station. Every program I've listened to, and I think I've probably listened to the entire rotation by now, offers me something, whether it's the spirit world or Deacon Harold Burke Sivers, as I was listening to on the radio over here, you know, Mother Angelica, or the you know, all the great, The Journey Home, which is on Sunday afternoons and talks about, you know, people coming back to the faith. There's so much in this radio station, and every time I turn away from it, I end up going right back to it, no matter what station I turn away to. And so it's just rich for me, and it's added so much to my spiritual life. I've learned so much, and I considered myself, you know, quote unquote, a really good Catholic. So I'm really indebted to the radio station.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Thank you for sharing that. I think one of the things I consistently hear when we're calling our listeners or talking to people that support the station is just how much they learn just from listening. And I think what you explained at the very beginning about you're just, you know, looking for something to listen to, that's such a common thing we hear, as well as once people stumble upon it, then they continue to come back to it. And that's for Catholics that have been Catholic, and it's also for non-Catholics, and it's people that are searching. But it's really awesome that it's available, you know, for them to stumble across. And that really is only possible because of the support of the people that listen.
Well, it's free. I mean, they do talk about the Beatitudes, poor in spirit. GRN does so much with so little. I mean, I know that I don't give enough compared to what I get back. And there's something for everyone, even for non-Catholics. If I'm learning, imagine how much the non-Catholics are learning just by programs like Mass to
Please call Call 1-800-476-3311 to make a pledge of support to help keep your Catholic radio station on the air. That's 1-800-476-3311.
And welcome back to the Guadalupe Radio Network's Fall Share-a-thon. This is hour number 4. We're coming a little bit closer to the end of hour 4, and we are a little bit more than halfway through our goal. We've got $2,820 to go. We can do it. Please give us a call at 1-800-476-3311. I'm co-hosting. My name is Keith Downey. I'm host of Morning Joy, where truth matters, along with senior producer Tim Mott. Hello, Tim Mott.
Hello, Keith Downey.
One of the really cool things, and I mentioned it before the interview, was how we're impacting on a global basis, not just domestically. This hour, we're actually live streaming through all of these social medias and even TikTok. So we're really trying to cast the net out, so to speak, on trying to get everybody on that path towards holiness. And we have a couple comments I'd like to go through. And Tim, would you like to do the honors on talking?
Yeah, sure. I was actually clicking through them on the break just because I wanted to see. I'm not putting a lot of effort into this one. We're mostly on the radio, but even just this minimal effort on social media. On TikTok, we have a guy who says his handle is WVBBQ Guy. I think that's West Virginia Barbecue Guy or something. He says he just started OCIA classes last Sunday.
Nice.
We're out here
That's
raising
incredible.
money for Catholic radio, and he's like, yes, I'm just started OCIA classes. He's got to be a Catholic. Welcome to the church, man. I can't
Yeah,
wait to
welcome
receive
home.
you in wherever you are,
Yes.
and thank you for sharing that with us. And another guy, just to show you the reach of these, we just got another comment that says, hello from Ghana. Ghana in Africa. Yeah,
Wow.
another country that we haven't heard from before is now commenting on us here with you on the Share-a-thon through the power of Guadalupe Radio on the internet. And that's made possible by you calling in and donating 1-800-476-3311. Any gift, any size. God is doing great things. Get on this train because it's leaving the station and you need to be there. 1-800-476-3311. Don't wait. Do it now. 13 minutes to go with $2,820 to raise. 1-800-476-3311. Keith, I've done a few more share-a-thons than you, and I always, when I get to this point, I always want to do a prayer. Whether things are going well, which I think they are right now, we're more than two-thirds through the goal, or if they're going badly. Either way, I always like to do a prayer here, and I love it when I hear you pray the St. Joseph Memorare in the mornings, but would you pray the Blessed Mother Memorare for us today?
Of course.
Thank
Let
you.
us all together pray that Memorare to the Blessed Mother. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Amen. Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who fled to thy protection, implored thy help, or sought thine intercession was left unaided. Inspired by this confidence, I fly unto thee, O Virgin of Virgins, my Mother. To thee do I come, before thee I stand, sinful and sorrowful. O Mother of the Word incarnate, despise not my petitions, but in thy mercy hear and answer me. Amen. Yes, no, it's a great way to start the last break, or at least entrance into
last
the
12
last portion
minutes.
of our hour. Yeah, the last 12 minutes. Always great to start in prayer. But yes, give us a call to help reach our goal. We have $2,820 to go. Any amount will help. 1-800-476-3311 is the number to call. That is 1-800-476-3311. Now, there is something called a Never Forget plan. So any donations of $30 monthly or more, or $360 one time or more using credit card, debit card, or automatic bank draft, you'll receive an email with a digital music album titled Blessed. And it's with an incredible, great Catholic artists, John Berlin, Sarah Hart, Kitty Cleveland, Scott Linza, and of course, Julie Carrick, who is one of the contributors to Morning Joy, Where Truth Matters. Incredible singer. My goodness. You're going to want to get this. That number is 1-800-476-3311. Looks like we have 3 folks on the line.
That is
Are you going to be number 4?
much better than 0. I love having 3 there. It's like you say the prayer and Mary responds, and she sends us the calls. So thank you very much, Keith. Thank you very much, Mary, as well. 1-800-476-3311. Oh, and by the way, happy belated birthday, our Blessed Mother. Her birthday was on Sunday, the Nativity of Mary. 1-800-476-3311. Amy in San Antonio pledged $20 a month. Thank you so much. 1-800-476-3311. Amy is a perpetual giver listening to FM 89.7. And that is a special bonus pro tip that I like to tell our listeners. When you call in and make a monthly pledge, like you're saying, I want to give $10 a month, or I want to give $30 a month, or I'm going to do that Archangel, and I'm going to give $125 a month. Here's the trick. It's like the secret menu at In-N-Out. The trick is tell them you want to make it perpetual. And then you don't have to call back next year to renew it, because your payment, your pledge automatically expires after 12 payments. We're not going to charge you forever unless you tell us you want it to be perpetual. Then they check that box, and then next year, if you go into a drawing, like for one of our guardian angel levels or the archangel level this year, but you don't win it, then next year when it renews, you go in again. And you didn't even have to call into next year's Share-a-thon. So that's really cool. So, Amy, your $20 a month there, that is going to be perpetual until you tell us otherwise. Of course, you guys can cancel anytime. Just, give us a call. Now we're up to 4 calls on the line.
Hey.
That's pretty good there. That's when we get to 4 calls, you can tell that the volume level is kind of increasing in the call center there. The volunteers are all talking on the phone, and it's starting to get exciting. But we've got more open. I told you, we have so many volunteers. They are ready for you, and we've been trying to get up to 8 simultaneous calls. Yesterday on the Share-a-thon, I don't think we made it at all. They were trying to do it this morning during the contingent match hour. They weren't quite able to do it then, I think, but now we're halfway there. So if 4 of you can dial really quickly, we can get up to 8 calls simultaneous right now, and then we will be so confident in reaching the $2,580 that we have left to go. Call now, 1-800-476-3311.
That number again is 1-800-476-3311. You can also go to grnonline.com. In case you're unable to pick up the phone and actually physically speak with somebody, you can just type in your donation. You can also see what the gifts are in regards to today. So if you do give a donation of $30 monthly or more, $360 one time or more, I believe you'll be getting The Kingdom of Happiness by Jeffrey Kirby, an incredible book that really gives guidelines for living out the Beatitudes today. And it's very easy read. And,
I highly recommend, if you can get close to the guardian angel level, like you can do $25 a month, really kind of stretch, because this book is worth it. You are going to love getting this book in the mail. Go up to $30 a month or $360 one time, and we'll send you the book. I just wanted to share. Blessed are the poor in spirit. That's the first beatitude there in the first chapter of the book. Yeah. And he wanted. I got to this section here, and I was like, oh wow. This is practical. He says some general examples of how others have owned or used things in a desire to live a simplicity, that poverty of spirit. The person who is going to buy another pair of shoes, but then considers that their closet's current supply and chooses not to purchase the shoes and instead buys a pair for someone with a greater need in their community. That's a great example of someone being poor in spirit. Here you go. What about this one? A married couple using natural family planning who welcome God's gift of new life and all its challenges, while also at times practicing chastity at the expense of their physical desires.
Oh, wow.
That's poverty of spirit right there. How many people listening right now are going through that? Here's a great one. The older woman who struggles from despair about her declining appearance, but ultimately accepts the reality of aging and welcomes the blessings that come with growing older, offering to watch her grandchildren one night so that her daughter and son-in-law can take a date night. If you've ever done that, you're practicing the beatitude of poverty of spirit. This one here, the young man making millions for a large bank who gives up his life of luxury to start a charity helping impoverished youth. Maybe you are making millions right now and it's empty and you're trying to figure out what are you going to do with this? Maybe making the Seraphim level pledge to Guadalupe Radio Network is the thing that you need to do to be able to live this poverty of spirit. 1-800-476-3311, 1-800-476-3311, 1-800-476-3311. We're still trying to get those 8 calls here in the last 6 minutes of this hour of the Share-a-thon, because every hour has its own goal, and we're still $2,455 away from ours. I'm going to thank somebody from Houston, and then Keith, you can maybe give me an update after that. But Bonnie from the Houston area, listening on AM 1430 KSHJ, gave a $125 one-time donation. She goes to Our Lady of Walsingham, which is the Cathedral of the Ordinariate of the Chair of St. Peter. She says, pray for friends and family that have fallen away from the church and for lives of the unborn. Amen, Bonnie. Thank you so much for your donation, for your support of Catholic Radio.
And a shout out to Frederick and Kimberly in Spring, Texas, listening AM 1430. $51.07 one-time donation. Thank you so much. That's incredible. And their comment is, thank you for everything the Guadalupe Radio Network has done. So thank you. Right back at you. Now, we have $2,404 to go, so I would say
let me give you one more update then. Claudia from Lavernia, Texas. This is a good one. Guardian Angel level gift goes to St. Anne's and says Catholic Radio has educationally helped grow her faith and others, and that brings us down to $1,914.
Wow.
Much better.
Okay.
Much better.
That is much better. We got one person on the phone. Let's get 7 more. So if you're feeling called to call to help keep Catholic Radio on the air, all you need to do is call 1-800-476-3311. We could use a short person by now, I think.
What's a short person?
Well,
A short person, like you don't have. There's no height requirement for donating to the GRN. What do you mean, short person?
I mean, if you're smaller than 3 foot, you're probably a toddler and probably can't donate. But short person is someone that to help us get through the goal. Someone that can essentially donate $1,914. So if you're able to do that,
You mean whatever we're short, whatever we're short for the goal. Because we are currently short. The numbers are red. It says $1,914. That's what we're short. Okay.
Yeah, you explain it way better than I do, Tim. But yeah, be that short person. Giving us a call, 1-800-476-3311. That's 1-800-476-3311. We've got one individual on the line. Be number 2, be number 3, be caller number 4, 5, 6.
Here's a great kind of Share-a-thon tradition. Dave Palmer, our morning host in Dallas, he just said behind the scenes, it's a time for a Fatima donation. What's a Fatima donation? Okay, so often people will donate numbers that are relevant to apparitions of Our Lady. So a 1531, that's the Guadalupe donation. That's the year she appeared in Guadalupe. So Fatima, she appeared in 1917. And so 1917 donation right now would be so perfect because it would give us exactly what we need, plus $3 for the Trinity. And there you go. 1917, 1,917 plus, that counts as an archangel, so you get an entry to win that pilgrimage with select international tours. So call now, 1-800-476-3311. There is one call on the line. We don't know how much it is, 1-800-476-3311. But I can tell you that the sister who's taking it is a Dominican sister of Mary Immaculate Province. The Vietnamese Dominicans there are beautiful people, joyful. I love talking to them every time. So Sister Angela is on the phone right now. She's their communications director at the moment for that province. They're growing, too. They have a lot of vocations going into that Dominican order. But we only have 2 minutes right now, so I'm going to give it back to you, Keith. 1917 would be awesome if we can get it. 1-800-476-3311.
Yes, we've got just a minute left. Please give us a call. We have one individual on the line. Be caller number 2, 3. Let's see how well we can clear the status of $1,914 to go. Maybe you are that person who can donate 1917, which is basically the date of Fatima. So please give us a call, even donating just a little bit. Give what you can. 1-800-476-3311. That's 1-800-476-3311. We've got $1,914 to go and less probably than 30 seconds left of this hour to reach that goal. So if you're able and you're listening and you're tuning in right now and you feel called to help us clear that completely, You know the number by now, probably by heart. It's 1-800-476-3311. 1-800-476-3311. Let's keep Catholic radio on the airwaves. You can do it. I know you can. We're all part of the body of Christ here, helping spread truth and joy. But this is it. We'll see you right after this break. God bless, and make it a joyful day.
We'll be back with more of the 2024 Living the Beatitudes Fall Share-a-thon on the Guadalupe Radio.